Hi everyone, today we're gonna continue learning some random methods. Today's random methods will be random.random and random.choices. Here we go! So over here you can see another program. As I top as usual, it was we're going to learn today. Then the rules and lastly the program. Today we'll be doing random.choices and random.random. Let's start with random.choices. The random.choices, as you can see, choices sound a lot like choice. You need to be careful with that bit. So as you can see, random.choices, it returns a list with a random number or string from the given choices of strings, numbers, etc. So here I've imported random, and then I've defined a variable called numbers, and I've set it from numbers 1 to 5. Then I'm printing this syntax. So random.choices in brackets parentheses numbers. That's the syntax. So random.choices in the brackets variable name. So now basically what I'll do is I'll run it, and yeah. So here you can see that it's picked in the number 2, and so it's picked 2 out of these choices. So 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's picked number 2 out of all these choices. And as you can see, it's in list format, so that's why I said returns a list with random number strings. Now let's try this with strings and try it, see. So I can just write so Python with Anvita. Now we can change the variable if you like. So we can do strings and change this to strings. Right. Now when I run this, it's getting Python. So again, in list format, and it's picked 1 out of these 3 choices. That's what choices does. And again, be careful that if you take one alphabet away, it changes the entire method. So you need to be careful with that bit. Next, we can move on to random.random. So I can comment this print statement and this. And I'm commenting this strings because we don't need it for the next random method. And you'll see in a second why. So I can uncomment that. So print random.random. That's really a thing, and it might sound a bit confusing, which it is sometimes. So basically when I run this, you can see it's given a giant float number. And the reason is that it returns a float number between 0 and 1. So obviously a float number is a decimal number, and when I run this, obviously it's going to give a decimal number, which is between 0 and 1. That's what random.random does. And again, it's okay if you get confused because this function name is really confusing. And now you must be wondering why we haven't put a variable over here and it's still working fine. That's because if I uncomment the strings, so random doesn't really need any of this. So if I put strings, for example, you can see that the strings has turned yellow and it's an unexpected argument. Now when I remove arguments, it's going to take it away and put it like we had it earlier. So I'm going to put it back in. Now when I run this, you see it throws an error. So in line 15, where this random.random thing is, it's saying that random, that's the method name, takes no arguments, one given. Arguments is this strings, and one given is again the strings. So I've given one argument, and that's the issue because random.random takes no argument as it already knows what to do because it gives a float number between 0 and 1. So that's why we don't need this. But if you're wondering what would happen if I put the numbers back again, you can try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. When I run this, you can see it's again saying same thing. So basically, random.random method takes absolutely 0 arguments because it knows exactly what to do itself. And so when I take this away, you can see remove argument. So it looks completely fine, no issues up here. This issue is because like I haven't put these spaces. So if I put that, and now when I run this, yeah, so it's giving this. And then you can see that there's still one error given over here, and that's because like, this is because if I take that away, right. So it's just a neatness issue, so like it needs to be neat, that's it. So you can see it's a tick mark, that basically means no shoes. So this is what random.random does.